Hello everyone, this is Melissa with GreenopolisTV, and we are coming to you live today from Santa Monica, California. We have a very, very special guest today. Mallika Chopra is with us. Hello, Mallika.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here today. We have an exciting interview ahead. We are going to be discussing with Mallika how setting an intention can be a step towards change. So I think this is going to be very topical for everyone. Thank you again, Mallika. So tell us exactly, what do you define intention to be?
So we define intention as taking that first step in a journey. So when you want to do anything in your life, the first step is to have the intent, the desire to do that. And we do believe that actually by setting the intention, you also create the pathway to achieve that intention. So really, it's been a part of my upbringing, it's been a part of the work I've done, and now a site that I have called intent.com, where we really focus on intent and then providing the tools and experiences to achieve it.
So when did you learn that setting an intention is so important, a catalyst for change? When did this really, really impact you?
So I grew up with intention being a fundamental aspect of my life. Many people know my father, Deepak Chopra, and one of the most common questions I'm asked is, what's it like being his daughter? And I think, my brother and I kind of were, we were often the guinea pigs for all of my dad's various experiments, and one of which was that we always were taught that having intention was very powerful. So we grew up, one of the things my dad used to make us do every day is say a little prayer. That goes, I am responsible for what I see, I choose the feelings I experience and set the goals I will achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me I ask for and receive as I have asked. So that fundamentally as a child shaped kind of the path of always setting intentions and actually asking for what we wanted in our life, with the belief that then nature will work to make them happen.
To provide. Do you mind if I ask you to repeat that little prayer again?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
It goes, I am responsible for what I see, I choose the feelings I experience and set the goals I will achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me I ask for and receive as I have asked. And I think it's from the Course in Miracles, if I remember correctly.
Wow, that's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I can imagine that being a big influential leader in your life, setting that up daily. So is that the same way you start your day today? Are you setting that intention with that prayer as well?
So I think as I grew older, I realized the power of intention in my life, I've written 2 books, and my first book is called 100 Promises to My Baby. And I think when I became pregnant, I started to really think about my background and how I'd grown up, and I realized this power of intent. And so that really was kind of the pathway for me. This book is really the promises or the intents that I have to serve as a mother. And then a few years ago, I kind of started, I'm fascinated with the internet. And so I started to kind of also kind of play with that in this social media world. And what we do on our site is people share their intents, they support each other, they comment on them. And we just find that it's a very powerful way to put out your intentions, your aspirations, your dreams, and then create a community around it.
Okay, so let's talk about your website, www.intent.com. You're a founder. You wanted to start this, why? You wanted a place for community. What was your desire?
So I'm a media person by background, and I strongly believe in the power of media for social transformation. And I'm lucky. I've grown up meeting some fascinating people, been exposed to teachers and leaders and politicians and actors, and so I thought, wouldn't it be fun to bring everyone together? So about a year ago, we launched Intent, and really the first step was to bring together the best voices from around the planet on personal, social, and global wellness. And we define wellness as who do you aspire to be as an individual, but also as a society and as a planet. So it's healthy living, relationship success, but it's also human rights, social rights, how do we take care of Mother Earth, and how do we connect with Spirit. So we now have over 500 contributors, and we bring together the best, whether they're websites or voices around that. But it's really all driven by intention And so the actually most viral part of our site is where people put in their intents, and they're one sentence intents. They're really simple, and then they get support. And as we grow, you'll also get related content, connections to other people, and resources to achieve your dreams.
Well, I thought that I was on your site today. I thought it was really powerful that someone can write an intention and then other people can re-intent or support their intention.
It's amazing.
Tell us about that.
It's amazing. You know, a lot of this is experimental. And we, we started off kind of bringing together, we have over 500 experts and sites, so there's a lot of content on intent and really credible, authentic content. But, I always at the back of my mind went back to, when I grew up, that simple intention, and I think in my book it's a one-sentence promise, it's a one-sentence intent, so it's almost like Twitter with a purpose. But, it's really, we find that crystallizing a thought or crystallizing a desire in one sentence is very powerful. So one, we find that people like to do that, and then we have a simple button which is just support, and people just love that. And then you, once you've put in your intent and you see support, you feel really empowered and excited. And so we found that it's these simple tools that really have kind of this viral effect. And also, you build good karma by supporting people's intents. So.
Well, I felt a really big connection to, one, reading someone's personal intent, but then two, publicly supporting it. So as the intent writer, I definitely feel empowered, but as the intent giver, I feel empowered as well because it's sharing. Well,
I give the example, my original founder for Intent is also a mom with 2 kids, so we kind of wanted to create a company that brought together balance as parents and moms, and also kind of launching a new company. Both of us have the intent to be good moms and to find balance in our lives. And, while I can get 100 parenting experts to talk about balance, one of the most powerful tips I've got is from my friend who said, to be a good mom, put your cell phone off from 6 to 9 p.m. and be present with your children. So when you are with them, be present with them. And out of all of the advice I could get, from experts, it was actually from a mom who has the same intent, the same aspirations, that gives the most powerful advice. So that's why when people put their intents, they can support each other, but they can also comment, and they can, maybe they'll recommend an article, maybe they'll give a tip, maybe they'll just say, go for it. Sometimes when we have many people who are trying to lose weight or stay on, kind of some spiritual path or dealing with addiction, and I think getting that support from other people really makes you feel a little bit more empowered as well.
It definitely, I think, is very powerful. I loved that aspect of your site. You mentioned, before we get into tactical on how to actually set some intentions, some famous people might be dropping by your site. I noticed you daily blog, which is really cool, with pictures.
I try, yes.
So you just have a plethora of different visitors coming to this site.
Yeah, we have about 500 quote-unquote experts, but the way Intent is set up is anybody can write there, so we really wanted to make it democratic. So, I can, of course, bring the Deepak Chopras and the Debbie Fords and the Waylon Lewises and Ted Nings, who you've talked to as well.
Shout out to them.
Yes, so we can bring our friends there, but I think more importantly, we've kind of set up a platform where anybody can share good content, because some of the most precious gems come from people that, don't have a book out, are not famous, but really have something to share.
Like your friend.
So there's that, we've really tried to create that platform so anybody can go on there and post an intent, anybody can blog and share, and kind of be part of the community as well.
I love that. Well, our intention here at Greenopolis is to help conserve resources and to support trash to treasures and any type of recycling behavior and habits. How do we set ourselves up to be mindful and have an intention, say at home? What are some tips? You mentioned writing it. Is that the first step? Is writing down, I want to be a recycler, or I want to be mindful of the environment?
Yes, we do feel that actually articulating your intent, and I did this in my book, articulating a commitment makes a big difference. So, you know, we all want to, of course, recycle, you know, help Mother Earth. But I think by actually making that commitment, we actually have these bags that we created, which are just, my intent is to bring my own bag to the store.
Oh,
because,
so cool.
yeah,